Although it seems the whole world has been explored, some places remain remote, unusual, and nearly forgotten, resisting discovery. It's as if the planet itself is hiding secrets no one can access. And today, join us as we reveal some of the most difficult to reach and most isolated places in the world. Places where, once you're there, there's really no turning back. But before we start, if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe so you'll always be updated with videos like this. Number 15, Snake Island, Brazil. On the coast of São Paulo, Brazil, there is an island that is so dangerous that the government itself has banned anyone from visiting it. This place is known as Ilha da Queimada Grande, or more commonly known as Snake Island. Within its 106 hectares, thousands of golden lancehead pit vipers live here, one of the deadliest snakes in the world. This type of snake cannot be found anywhere else on the planet and can only be found here. Because they have lived in isolation for thousands of years and have no natural predators, their numbers have increased. And it is estimated that there are about 2,000 to 4,000 snakes there. Because migratory birds often pass by, they continue to survive and multiply. The venom of the golden lancehead is really very potent. It can dissolve human flesh, and just one bite can kill within an hour. Because of this, it has become part of local legends, stories of gruesome deaths, and narrow escapes from danger. It is said that in the early 20th century, a lighthouse keeper and his family perished after snakes invaded their home. Today, the Brazilian Navy strictly prohibits visits to the island, and only a select few researchers are allowed to set foot there to study the golden lancehead snakes in their natural habitat. Number 14, Sarisarinama Mountain, Venezuela. In the remote southern part of Venezuela, there are mountains that seem to rise from the middle of the forest, the Sarisarinama Mountain. The steep cliffs and flat summit of this mountain are very different from the lush forest that surrounds it. It is a place shrouded in mystery, where it is said that secrets of the ancient world are hidden among the twisted rock formations and deep sinkholes that cut across its surface. For the native Yuana people who have long lived around the mountain, Sarisarinama is truly a sacred place, home to the spirits of their ancestors. However, for the outside world, the mountain remained almost unknown until the 1970s when a group of Venezuelan scientists made a surprising discovery. While flying in a small airplane, they noticed huge holes on the surface of the mountain, some of which were nearly 1,000 feet deep and wide. Because of their curiosity, they returned to the area and explored it personally, traversing the dense forests and steep cliffs. What they discovered was truly an extraordinary sight. The sinkholes, called simas in Spanish, aren't just ordinary pits. They have their own ecosystem with plants and animals that can't be found anywhere else, adapted to the cold and humid environment of the caves. Some even have their own microclimate, with temperatures and humidity that are very different from the surrounding forest. Number 13, Heard and McDonald Islands, Indian Ocean. In the middle of the fierce southern Indian Ocean, two islands stand amidst the storm, Heard Island and McDonald Island. These are owned by Australia, but almost no one lives here. These two islands were created by fire and volcanoes and shaped by intense winds and waves. On Heard Island, the larger of the two, you will find towering mountains covered in snow and ice, including Mawson Peak, which stands at 9,600 feet, one of the only active volcanoes in Australian territory. Its coast is constantly battered by strong ocean waves, while inside you can find glaciers, lava fields, and cold tundra. Despite the extreme cold and chaotic weather, nature continues to thrive here. From tiny mosses and lichens to seals and penguins seeking shelter on the shore, McDonald Island, which is about 26 miles to the west, is even smaller and more rugged. There are almost no plants, and it is covered by ice and rocks. But even in such harshness, nature is still alive. Large colonies of seabirds fly overhead, and seals rest on its cold shores. Number 12, Baledo, Havari, Amazon rainforest. The Baledo Havari, or Havari Valley, is a vast land covering over 33,000 square miles in the heart of the Amazon rainforest. One of the last remaining sanctuaries in the world that has not yet been reached by modern civilization. In the heart of this forest, some of the last remaining tribes in the world live, with no contact with the outside world. indigenous people who chose to live their own way, far from the influence of the modern world. For many centuries, the tribes of Havari Valley have lived peacefully and in harmony with nature. They rely on the forest not only for food, but also for their religious and spiritual way of life. They are skilled in hunting and gathering, using traditional weapons like bows and arrows to catch animals in the forest. They also know how to navigate the forest using the stars and the sounds of nature. The chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, and the flow of water serve as their maps. However, in recent decades, the tranquility of Havari Valley has been gradually broken. Illegal loggers, miners, and hunters have started to enter their land to exploit the natural resources of the forest. Because of this, the tribes have strongly resisted, sometimes leading to violent clashes. Many of them lost their lives defending their ancestral land, a clear testament to their determination to remain free and untouched by the outside world. Number 11, Mariana Trench, Pacific Ocean. In the depths of the middle of the Pacific Ocean, there is a trench deeper than the height of Mount Everest, the Mariana Trench. It is a gigantic cut on the surface of the Earth that reaches about 36,000 feet, almost as high as the altitude at which airplanes fly in the sky. This is the deepest place in the world where the water pressure is equivalent to the weight of 50 jumbo jets pressing down on a single finger. In this dark and terrifying depth, where the water can crush a human body like a can, some creatures still survive. Here you can find strange organisms like xenophyophores, large single-celled creatures that crawl along the bottom of the trench, and the Mariana snailfish, which can survive pressures that would crush most creatures on the surface of the world. There are also microbes that live near hot hydrothermal vents, where the temperature is high enough to boil water. But for them, that's just normal. Only a few people have dared to descend into these depths. And one of them is James Cameron, the famous film director, who in 2012 became the first person to reach the deepest part of the trench on a solo dive. His special submersible captured amazing videos of that strange world. It was a sight that seemed like another planet, far from anything humans have ever seen. Number 10, Palmerston Island, South Pacific Ocean. Amid the isolation of the South Pacific Ocean, there is a small island that seems to have been forgotten by time, Palmerston Island. On this island, only 58 people live, and almost all of them are related to each other. This unique history began back in 1863 when an Englishman named William Marsters arrived here with his 3 Polynesian wives. Over the years, they had 23 children, and from those children, their descendants multiplied even more. Today, almost everyone living on the island is a direct descendant of Marsters, which makes it one of the most homogeneous populations in the entire world. Life on Palmerston Island is simple and peaceful. There are no cars, stores, or even running water, and they live by fishing and farming, relying on the ocean and nature. Their only connection to the outside world is a single satellite phone, and a ship carrying essential supplies like medicine and fuel arrives only twice a year. Despite their isolation, the people of Palmerston are lively and cheerful. We show that sometimes the most remote places in the world can be the closest to the true spirit of community and family. Number 9, Adak, Alaska, USA. At the end of the Aleutian Islands, where the Pacific Ocean and the Bering Sea meet, there is a land known as the birthplace of the winds. This is Adak Island, a treeless island that is constantly battered by strong winds and rain, home to the westernmost city in the United States. The weather here is known for being harsh and unpredictable. In one moment, it can be sunny and calm, but moments later, gusts of wind and thick clouds arrive as if swallowing the entire island. In the mid-20th century, Adak became an important military base used by the US during World War II and the Cold War. A naval air station was built here with more than 6,000 personnel, complete with a school, church, stores, and a bowling alley. However, when the Cold War ended, it gradually lost its significance. By 1997, the base was finally closed and the place was left like a ghost of the past. Now, there are only a little over 100 residents living in Adak, resilient people who continue to struggle against the harsh climate and the forces of nature. The buildings are slowly being consumed by the wind and the sea, while the streets remain quiet, except for the howling of the wind passing through the abandoned houses. In Adak, every day is a battle against nature, against strong storms, rain, and thick fog that can cover the island within minutes. For the people who have stayed here, the silence and the closeness to nature have become a part of their lives. Number 8. Villa Las Estrellas, Antarctica. On King George Island in Antarctica, there is a small community that thrives in the midst of the frozen wilderness. Villa Las Estrellas, one of the 2 civilian communities on the entire continent, with temperatures dropping as low as negative 128 degrees Fahrenheit and winds reaching up to 200 miles per hour, living here is truly a test of resilience and courage. It was established in 1984 by the government of Chile as part of their presence on the continent. It is brought to life by colorful buildings with small schools, a post office, a hospital, and residences for scientists, soldiers, and their families. All of these are designed to withstand the extreme cold and harsh climate of Antarctica. However, life here is not for the faint of heart. During the winter months, the sun does not rise. There's only darkness and cold. Frostbite can strike within minutes outside, and the isolation is intense because there is no connection to the rest of the world for many months. Nevertheless, despite all of that, the people living in Villa Las Estrellas do not give up. They run science experiments, study the climate, and keep the small community alive at the end of the world. For them, this place is not just a home, but a symbol of human courage in the midst of endless ice. Number 7. Cape York, Australia. At the northernmost tip of Australia, where the continent seems to reach out to the Torres Strait, you'll find the Cape York Peninsula, a vast and wild land of savanna, forests, and wetlands. This is one of the last true frontiers of the Australian outback, where nature still reigns, and traces of modern life seem like a distant memory. For thousands of years, this has been home to indigenous tribes, including the Chonky people, who have a deep spiritual connection to this land. Every mountain, river, and forest holds the stories of their ancestors. Legends are passed down through each generation. Their traditional ways of hunting and fishing help shape the unique ecosystem of the region. Cape York is rich in natural resources and beauty. There are more than 3,000 types of plants, including the rare golden orchid, and many animals that can't be found anywhere else in the world, from the elusive tree kangaroos to large saltwater crocodiles. Some of the most beautiful sights in Australia can also be found here, from the Iron Range Mountain to the crystal-clear waters of the Great Barrier Reef. In Cape York, you will see the true wild beauty of nature. It's a place where the land, sea, and the spirit of the ancestors come together as one. Number 6. Tristan da Cunha, South Atlantic Ocean. In the vast ocean of the South Atlantic, there is a small piece of land that emerges from the waves. A place so remote and isolated from the world, it has been called one of the most distant inhabited islands on the entire planet. This is Tristan da Cunha, a volcanic island with a population of only about 250 people. In this place, nature is still the true king, and the signs of modern civilization seem like faint memories now. It is located 1,700 miles away from the nearest continent, a paradise of breathtaking scenery, towering cliffs, green valleys, and clear seawater teeming with life. Here you will find animals that are unlike any other in the world, like the Tristan albatross, with wings that span up to 11 feet, and the Tristan rock lobster, a prized seafood delicacy sought after by gourmets around the world. But life here is not for the faint of heart. The only way to reach the island is by taking a week-long boat journey from South Africa. And even then, the journey is very dangerous because of the strong waves and treacherous ocean currents. When you arrive, you'll have to face extreme weather conditions. Strong winds, sudden rain, and thick fog that can cover the island at any time. Number 5. Medug County, Tibet. In the misty mountains of eastern Tibet, there is a hidden valley shrouded in mystery and legend. Medug County, also known as Hidden Lotus in the Tibetan language. It is a land of extraordinary beauty and deep spiritual significance, where the boundary between the physical and spiritual world seems very thin. For many centuries, it was isolated from the rest of the world, and the only way to reach it was through dangerous mountains and an ancient, awe-inspiring bridge suspended above a raging river. That's how remote it is. This was the last place in China to be connected by road, and it was only completed in 2013. Despite its isolation, it is rich in biodiversity, with lush forests, cascading waterfalls, and thousands of species of plants and animals. There are 2,000 species of plants here, and many of them can't be found anywhere else in the world. In the forest, you can hear the calls of rare birds like the green tarapogan and the elusive Ward's trogon. But beyond its beauty, Medug is a sacred place for Tibetan Buddhists. According to legend, the valley was blessed by Buddha himself, who said that one day it would become a sanctuary for people seeking enlightenment and peace. Number 4. Cape Melville, Australia. In the dense forests of northern Queensland, Australia, there is a lost world hidden behind massive granite boulders and thick forests, Cape Melville, and it is located near the Great Barrier Reef and is known for its incredible natural beauty and unique creatures. Because of the extremely rugged terrain and dense trees, this place remained almost undiscovered by humans for many centuries. However, in recent years, researchers have conducted scientific expeditions and discovered a large number of unusual animals that were previously unknown to science. Among these are 3 new species of reptiles, including the Cape Melville leaf-tailed gecko, an 8-inch lizard with large eyes and a leaf-shaped tail, making it almost invisible in its surroundings. The Cape Melville shade skink, a small lizard with a shiny blue tail that moves quickly in the shadows of the forest. And the blotched girl frog, a rare type of frog that lives among granite rocks and only comes out during the rainy season to breed. Number 3. Hansong Cave, Vietnam. Deep within the vast Phong Nha Ke Bang National Park in Vietnam, a natural wonder is hidden that seems beyond imagination. Hansong Dong, the largest cave in the entire world. Inside it is another world where nature truly reigns supreme. Underground rivers flow through, carving paths and caves as large as skyscrapers. From the cave floor, stalagmites rise up like an ancient forest turned to stone. They reach up to ceilings shrouded in a cloud of mist. This vast underground kingdom is a testament to the strength and beauty of our planet, secrets hidden deep within the earth. It was discovered in 1991 by a local farmer named Hoka, but its entrance remained a secret for almost 2 decades. In 2009, a group of British cave explorers led by Howard Limburg finally explored inside, and there they discovered the extraordinary world of Sandung, a place truly unbelievable in its size and beauty. It measures over 3 miles long, 660 feet high, and 490 feet wide. It's a stone basilica that seems to be made by the gods of nature. Because of the cave's unique geology, it has created its own microclimate, with its own weather, scenery, and living creatures. Sunlight passes through large holes in the cave's ceiling, illuminating underground jungles with ancient trees and unique species that have never been seen anywhere else in the world. Only a few hundred visitors are allowed to enter here each year. They have to travel through dense forests, cross rivers in deep terrain, and climb slippery rocks to reach the mysterious secrets of Hansong Dong. Number 2. Mount Namuli, Mozambique. From the lush forests of northern Mozambique rises Mount Namuli like a monument of nature, a place of extraordinary beauty and scientific wonder. At 7,948 feet, it is the second highest mountain in the country, a granite monolith that looks like a fist of stone pushed up from the depths of the earth. For many centuries, it has been shrouded in mystery and mist, and it is rarely visited by outsiders. But only recently, scientific expeditions have begun, revealing a great number of unique creatures that can only be found here. From tiny insects crawling on dry leaves to beautiful birds flying high above the forest, Mount Namuli is full of life. The most unique of all is the variety of habitat supported by the mountain. In its lower parts, the rainforest is rich in animals and plants. As you go higher, it becomes grassland and rocky areas where rare plants and animals thrive, able to survive in thin soil and cold air. This is also where the Namuli apollo lives, a small bird that can only be found on this mountain in the entire world. Number 1. Larinconada, Peru. At an altitude of 16,700 feet in the Andes Mountains of Peru, you will find Larinconada, the highest permanently inhabited town in the world. This small town, which is perched on the edge of a gold mine, is a place where every day is a struggle to survive, and where the desire to become rich comes with a heavy price. About 50,000 residents here live in conditions unimaginable to most people elsewhere. The air here is so thin that even the strongest people have trouble breathing. There's no proper sanitation here, so diseases like tuberculosis and mercury poisoning are widespread. The town's water is contaminated with heavy metals, and there's no proper waste disposal system. The roads here are full of filth and human waste. Nevertheless, thousands of people still flock here every year, coming in hoping to find gold. Most of the miners work illegally, risking their lives because of mine collapses, explosions, and chemical poisoning. Some have been lucky and gained wealth, but for most, their reward is just a small amount, not enough to make up for the hardship and danger they face in this harsh place.